Hi, it's Kelly, and I have some real quick encouragement for you today. I want you to look for one or two things, small things in your life that just aren't working and take time to fix them today. Not in the next month or in the next quarter, but today. And I'll give you a silly small example. This morning, I grabbed a pair of socks, and as I was putting it on, I realized that the elastic or the little pieces in the sock must have shrunk or something in the wash because they're really hard to get on. I could get them on, but I knew by the end of the day I would have like weird compression issues with my feet. And it wasn't until I was putting on the second sock that I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I struggling with a pair of socks, which probably cost me $1, when I could just get a different pair of socks and take that pair and throw them away? Normally I'm one for donating stuff, but I don't think anyone wants my used socks. And it was just an example of this is something that's not working for me. So I don't need a plan. I don't need to put it on my to-do list. I could just make that change right then and there. Now here's a little bit bigger example. I have an old house. It had settled a bit, and my bedroom door is no longer shutting smoothly. It was off as many times as I adjusted it in the hinges. It was not closing well, and it just like didn't close properly at all. So after doing some sanding to it, after adjusting it 100 times and not getting anywhere, I decided, get a new door, Kelly. It's maybe $100. I went to Home Depot, I picked up the door, I brought it home, I installed it. It works great. There's one thing I didn't do though. I didn't get a new doorknob. Doorknobs are pretty easy to take on and off, but the one that I have is just a bit old and it doesn't latch properly. So I'm gonna go get a new doorknob and install a new doorknob. Not because I necessarily need to lock my bedroom door a whole lot, but I do shut my bedroom door at night so that one of my cats, that's a little bit of a bully, does not come in and terrorize the other cats. And the problem is the door doesn't latch properly, so now the door swings open. And even though I can put like a 10-pound weight in front of the door to keep it shut, this cat is now throwing herself at the door trying to get in to tease and harass the other cats. So that's just like an example of something small. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've had to move these dumb weights in front of the door because the doorknob doesn't latch, or I've tripped over the doorknob and fallen. It's one of those things that it feels small and it feels unimportant, but if you get those small things done and out of the way, your life will just begin to run so much smoother. And my reason for this is simple. If you can stop taking the energy, the precious time and energy, fighting the dumb stuff in your life, you will have more of that energy to spend on the real battles ahead of you. And I swear, if your biggest battle is that there's a pair of socks that doesn't fit well or your doorknob doesn't shut properly, you are so lucky. In that case, fix those problems and then solve the world problems. But for the rest of us, we need to just like not be annoyed by that plate that has a chip in it, or the set of keys that never works because it sticks too much when you put it in the door, or that book that's been on your shelf to read that you really don't care about and you just want to get rid of and get rid of the guilt. Start solving those small problems. Nothing is too small. If a pair of socks being too tight is my base level, nothing is too small for you to resolve and move on. And I'm not saying you have to spend money either. You don't have to, like, if there's a pair, let's say like here, this pair of scissors is sticky and it doesn't really nicely cut. You could just throw it away. You don't have to go buy new scissors. Maybe you get them sharpened, or you clean them, or you improve them in some way. It's not about just throwing stuff away willy-nilly and so you have an excuse to go shopping, but take care of the stuff in your life that's just not working well and replace it with things that don't cause any friction, and I promise your days and weeks will get better.